Make sure this thing is good. What is it? Okay, there we go. Slovakia. All right, Shalom Israel, Shalom Yabashim Shabarakatah to the brothers, Shalom Yahashim Atah Bashim Yahushai to the sisters. We are the ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We are here to teach that all so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are God's chosen people according to the Bible. Now, today's topic is going to be specifically about integration and interracial marriage, because I don't know what's going on, but it's a lot of brothers and sisters out here that think that you can be pro-black and you got a white man or a white woman with you, and I'm here to tell you, no, you're wrong. You can't sit here and be with another nation of people and still love your people. It doesn't work like that. And God forbids interracial marriages. I know that might throw some people for a loop because the Christian church does not teach that. The Christian church, teaches you to love everybody. God loves everybody. They tell you that white people can be saved. That's what they teach you, right? But I'm here to tell you through the Bible that God is against integration and interracial marriage. So I'll give everybody just a quick second just to log in. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't already, it will be greatly appreciated. Then we'll be getting started with the Lord's Prayer in just a second. And also, if I may, if you haven't already, you got Twitter. Please check out our Twitter page. It's ISUPK West Coast UPK. It's on Twitter. Give everybody just a quick moment just to tune in. Why is it not on YouTube? All right, with that being said, everybody just a quick moment to log in. And today we're going to be reading out of First Kings. First Kings chapter 11, 1 through 7. If you haven't already known, during the Sabbath service, we read in the Hebrew first, which is the Lashawan Kodash, it's the holy tongue of our people. We read the first 7 verses in the Hebrew, and we continue to give the breakdown. And the reason why we're going to be going over First Kings specifically is, if you don't already know, we're going to be talking about King Solomon. King Solomon, one of, if not one of the wisest brothers in the entire Bible. Shalom, Lord in Christ, Officer Karab Mashak. What's going on, Ak? Most High in Christ. And the reason why we're talking about King Solomon is because this brother, he was a very wise brother, but he fell short too. That's before we even continue, I want to touch on something real quick. Don't be a fake Israelite. This is what I mean by that. Don't be one of those black folk out there, one of those Hispanic and Native Indian folk out there that likes to pick and choose out of the Bible. That's Christian. Brothers love to talk about Moses. They love to talk about Aaron. They love to talk about Abraham. They love to talk about our forefathers, Isaac, Jacob, whose name was Israel. We talk about who's another a very strong brother, Salakia. So it's tip of my tongue, Samson, right? We talk about a lot of different brothers in the Bible, right? But nobody wants to follow Christ. That's what I mean. Don't be a fake Israelite. Don't be a Christian. You understand? Christ is the perfect example of what you should follow. And don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. King Solomon was a very, very, very righteous brother. However, he fell short. We're going to be talking about him just a little bit, and then we'll get into the interracial marriages, right? Also, I don't want to give it away too much. God did something because of interracial marriages. You understand? So, with that being said, Slaggy, just one moment. There we go. Shalom, Lord in Christ, Adawan. Priest and Officer Shabal, checking in from Vegas. Shalom, Lord in Christ. All right, with that being said, we're going to get started. So, my gym, just me up here. La Yasharala, which is Hebrew for to Israel. Amadim Apwanya Hakwadam, which means to stand and face the east. Sisters, remember to have your heads covered. Brothers, remember to have your heads uncovered during the prayers. We get started with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Quadash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakutka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamaya, Atamanawa, Lakum, Call, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawatyanawa, Wala'a, Nabayanawa, Banasaiwan, Abal, Habashainawa, Ma'yan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wataparath, while it's like here, Lawalumium, Amun. Now in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Baba Kasha, Latan Lanawa, Hakak, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Call, Makala, Wakal, Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha, Matazariah, Hakak, Lahakwaya, Hamathia, Hakak, Al, Rakawath, Atama Allah, Lagar Shun, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Thawada, Amun. Now Hakak, which is the power in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Now I'll be doing the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahushai, Wa Me'aka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Matazab Ya'ah, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapyan, Ha Saranya, Hakwatazayoyin, Hakayayoyin, Wa'akwathin, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, the water, Amun. Now the blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohanan, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, All, Hahorim, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Izoya, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'ratazah, Oyatan, Lamawatz, Rogolka, All, Yanawam, Shemorka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashun, Shawamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shemorka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wairach, Balayallah, Yahweh, Yashemorka, Makol, Rai, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'afka, Wabawa'afka, Maida, Wa'ai, Awalam. Now, Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, All, Damaya, La'aka, All, Dakarash, Wa'al, Dashakwat, All, Kaya, Hana, Awayebyaka, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Il, Imaka,
Slakia.
Damaya, Laka, Salakia. All, Dakarash, Wa'al, Dashakwat, All, Kaya, Hana, Awayebyaka, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Il, Imaka, Ya'ayamwa, Sawada, Waita, Yaitazawa, Il, Pezapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidam, Magoya, Wala'ah, Yazakar, Shum, Yasharala, Awada, Kaya, Yaitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Al-Yaka, Bar Yath, Yakarathwa, Ahoya, Adawam, Wa, Yashama Alium, Mawa'aba, Wa'agorium, Gabal, Wa'amawan, Wa'amalak, Palashath, Am-Yashabia, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Nalawa, Ayamum, Hayawa, Zorawai, Labunya, Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Lahum, Kamudyim, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayubyan, Banakor, Koyashwan, Nashad Madwa, Bayan, Da'ara, Hayawa, Da'ama, Laidama, Shayadamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kairab, Wakaza'aba, Wakazabak, Wakazazor, Manai, Kor, Nasayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nearasha, Lanawa, Ath, Naawath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapunya, Ralka'ah, Ka'ash, Taba'ira, Ya'ira, Wa, Kalahaba, Dalahat, Haryam, Kun, Daradama, Basa'irika, Wabasa, Wapafka, Taba'alam, Mala'ah, Panyahum, Kuala Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahawa, Adyai, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Daiwa, Kaya, Ada, Shemka, Yahawa, Labaka, Aliwan, Alkor, Haratazah. Now Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. A sword also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Ared, and like Zaid. Yea, all their princes as Zabah, and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. All right, you may be seated. All right, so we're going to be reading out of the book of 1 Kings. I'm going to start chapter 11. I'm going to start at chapter 11, verse 1. All right, so this is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Sorry, just one moment. Okay. Waka la, let me see. La'ach shala ma'ach akaba. Let's see. See. Okay. Nasha Yum Naba Daya Ka'ath Da Daba Wa'af Na Slakia. Waba no Daba Ka'af Wa'a Wa'af Baf Pa Datazak My Maya By Wa'af. Let's see. I Ba Uslagia. I'm Waya'af Ada Ma'af Tazada Kaya Kayaf. Let's see. Let me see. Ka'af Ya Ya'af Ma'an Kaga Wayam Ashad Ahmad Waika Oslake Wa'a Ya'a All Baya Ya'ash Da all. Let's see. La Thaba Ya Ba Baka'um Da Ka'um La Yaba Aya Iwa. Let's see. Baka'um Abaza Yata Ka Af Laba Ka'um Af. Let's see. Aha Waya All Kaya Ka'um by. Let's see. By Ha'um Daba Kwa Shol. Let's see. Shol Ma'a Shama'a La'a Ba'a Waya Aya Ya. Let's see. Ka'ash Ya'um. Waida. Let me see. Waida Ya'um. Sha Bataza. Ba'a Ya'af. Yaipa La Ga Shayum. Shaw. Let's see. Shalaash Ma'a Ya'af Waya Taya Nashayawa Af Laban Athmabun, Waya Aya, Latazaf, Za Zakwa Naaf, Shalama, see, Naash, Slagit, Nashayawa, Ah, Ata Na, Af La Ba Bawa Bao Ahadaya All Halyum Ahoyum Na, let's see, Afna Ahadayum Na La Ha Haya La Ba La Babun Shalom Tazum, let's see, yeah, Tazum, no, Slakia, I'm Waya Aya, All Haya Ahoya, Bala Baba, Daya Ada, Abba Yawa, Ya La Yalad, Shalama, A Akaya, Aisha Daf, All Kaya, it's like Haya, Tazada Ya'um, Da'a Hadaya, Mala Ba'um, Shakwataza, I see, Ima Wayum, Aya Waya Ash Shalama, Da Hada I Ba I Waya Ya Yaha Ya Maba'a, Salaki. Almost there. Akadaya Ya Waya Ba Bada'a Ob Abaya'a, was it I Aza Waba Na'a Shalama Ba Batha'a La Labathayash Shakwataza Ba Waya Ba Aad, what's the last one? Ashda Isle Pa Na'a Yada Washad La'am Wala'am Lada Sha Shakwatazar Ba Naya Ain Da Za. All right, Salakia. All right, so that's it for the Hebrew. Make sure to study your Hebrew. Every Friday we have Lashawan Kodash, like I said, the Holy Tongue. Priest and Officer Kapar teaches it every Friday, so you can learn your actual native language. As you can see, it takes some studying. So we're going to be getting started with the book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 1. All right. So the book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. So right here, the Lord is already telling you what a strange woman is. A strange woman, according to the Bible, is a woman that is not of your nation, meaning that she's not Israel. If she doesn't fall under the 12 tribes chart, if she's not Issacharite, Ephraimite, Judite, Benjamite, if she doesn't fall under Israel, she is a strange woman. So the Lord is telling you right here that Solomon, King Solomon, a very wise brother, by the way, and he ruled in a time of peace. It's actually what his name meant. It meant peace. So it says right here, but King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites. The Moabites are the so-called Chinese today. Ammonites, who are the so-called Japanese today. Edomites, so-called white women today. Zidonians and Hittites, which are examples of Africans. Again, showing that Africans are not of our people, right? Because a lot of people think that black people and Africans are the same. Even the term African American is historically inaccurate. We're not African, right? Verse 2, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, meaning that you are not supposed to dwell with these women. You're not supposed to sleep and have sex with these women, right? The Lord forbids you from doing that. Neither shall they come in unto you, neither shall they deal with you. This one leads a little bit more into like sisters, like, you're not supposed to be with a white man or Asian man or an African man or Samoan man or anything like that. No, you're supposed to be with a brother. You understand? This is what the Lord is saying. I just want everybody to understand that. I'm not making this up. I'm reading out of the Bible. And your Christian pastor, they read out of this. I just want you to know this. But they don't teach this, just to show either further indication that they're lying to you, right? This is coming straight out of the book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 2. We're going to start from the top one more time. So verse 2, it says, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in unto them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. So what the Lord is warning you is, don't mess with these other nations. Don't sleep with them. Don't marry them. Don't have a relationship with them. Because what will start to happen is you'll want to be like them. You understand? Like, brothers in the world do this all the time. Like, it's very sought after to be with like a foreign woman. I know it's very big in Esau's military because they travel all over the place. And you meet all different types of women, Asian women, Filipino, Chinese, Japanese, Korean. You see women from like, what is it, Samoa, what is it, Pacific Islanders, right? You see a lot of these other women, and for brothers, they force it on us to make it seem like, oh, you hit the jackpot. Oh, you got you a baddie. Now you got yourself a different kind of woman. You got a foreign woman, right? Now, what happens when brothers start to do this? You want to be like that woman as far as her culture. Like, you try to impress her. You try to learn her language. You try to find out about her customs, her traditions, right? All of another nation's customs are not of the Lord. You understand? That's why the Lord is forbidding you to dwell with strange women, or for sisters, strange men. You understand? So let's keep reading. So in verse 3, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. So you can take a lot from this one right here. One, showing that, yes, it is lawful for a man to have multiple wives. But here's the thing. First and foremost, before we even, not to get too off topic, before we even dive into strange women and interracial marriage, brothers, be smart. Like, seriously, be smart. It's not a contest. Don't be one of them brothers that you just want, 30 wives, and you know damn well, like, you know what you can handle. You know damn well you can't handle 30 wives. Now, if you can, most high in Christ. Do you, brother? If you can handle that. But brothers got to remember, it's lawful to have multiple wives, but it's not lawful to have hoes. Don't do that. Don't be one of them brothers in the world that just be sleeping with this woman, this woman, this woman, that woman, and then you leave them, and then you done had sex with like 60, 70 women in the span of like 6 months. Don't do that. That's how you catch STDs. I'm not a doctor. I'm just, I'm trying to help you out, right? But also, it shows right here that, again, it's unlawful to have strange women as your wives, right? Solomon had a lot of strange women as his wives. So let's continue reading and see what Solomon does. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect in the Lord, with the Lord his God, and as was the heart of David his father. Quick recap: King David, his father, it said, I believe it was paraphrasing, his heart, how did they say it? He was after the Most High's heart. You understand? Like, before he was even anointed as a king, like, you got to think, we think carnally. When we think of like a king or like a warrior, we think of like a big, strong brother, probably got battle scars all over him. I don't know, brother probably missing a finger or two. Like, he looked like he done been through something, right? Like a war veteran or something. But David, the Lord described David at the time before he was King David, that he was a young, handsome, ruddy brother. In a sense of, I don't mean to disrespect King David, but in today's terms, he would be referred to as a pretty boy. Now, that's not something that comes to mind to us when we think of like a king or a ruler or a warrior. But the thing was, the Most High doesn't see man the way that we see man. You understand? He judged him on his character, because at that time, what was David doing? He was tending to the sheep. He was a shepherd. And we are the lost sheep according to the Bible, so we need a shepherd. At that time, it was King David, because he was tending to the sheep, and he showed how resilient he was and how far he was willing to go to defend his sheep. Because he fought against a bear, killed the bear. You understand? Killed the lion. You understand? All to protect the sheep. So you got to understand, if a brother's willing to go through that just to defend sheep, like animals, imagine what he could do for his people. That was what the Most High was doing, right? So Solomon's heart was not perfect in the eyes of the Lord at this time. Why? Because he started dealing with strange women. And because of him dealing with these strange women, he started to worship other gods, which is a sin according to the Bible. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. That's in the book of Exodus. You understand? So now now you got a twofer. Now you got, you see how it builds up. Like, sin leads to more sin. It's like a gateway, right? One demon just opens up the door to a whole legion of demons. And that's what was happening with Solomon right here, because now he's building altars. He's worshiping these other gods, which are false, by the way. Like, heathens don't have gods. You understand? Like, they don't actually have gods. It's all fiction. It's fairy tale. It's make believe. It's little what they call it, wives' tales that they tell children by the campfire and stuff like that. We, as so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, we have a true living God, a real deity. You understand? They don't have that, but they got to make them up. So when you worship a false idol, Most High in Christ is exactly. King David was a man after the Lord's heart. Exactly, right? So when you praise other gods, you're really praising nothing at all because they don't exist. Like what is it? Zeus, Poseidon, who is it? Hades, Artemis, all those like what's the Greek gods and stuff like that. First of all, if you read about, not to get too off topic, if you read about like Greek mythology, you do you know what they do? Like, okay, it says that Zeus like came from like Mount Olympus and went down and impregnated women. Like, God doesn't do that. And then to take it even further, Zeus was a homosexual and he committed incest because he slept with his own sister. That's the white man's God right there. You understand? The Japanese, forget about it. They got 1,000,001 gods. I lost count. They got a God for everything, literally everything. But there's only one God, right? Solomon fell under this by dealing with strange women. You understand? So let's keep reading. So verse 4, it says, "For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was the heart of David his father. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites." Right there. Key word, abomination, meaning something repulsive, something that is not pleasing in the eyes of the Lord. You understand? It's fake. It's fake. You know, there's no, okay, I know this is going to sound crazy. You know, there's no such thing as a goddess, right? There's no such thing. God is a man of war. That's in the Bible. There's no, I know, oh my goodness. I know with some people out there that try to argue that God's a woman. Look, no. No. You could read all throughout the Bible and you could, look, you will lose your hair before you ever find anything in the Bible that even slightly insinuates the Most High being a woman. No. Lord's a man of war. You understand? So right here, the Lord is already showing that this is just folly in his eyes. You understand? This is an abomination that Solomon is doing. So we're going to keep reading. Verse 6. "And Solomon did evil," keyword evil, "in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father." Again, the Lord is praising David for what he did. Now, don't get me wrong. David messed up too, right? This is why I say brothers have to get out of this habit of just following like these men out of the Bible. You could follow the good examples that they set out. Like King David was an amazing brother, right? So much that he made Christ out of his lineage. Like that's crazy, right? Kings, like King Solomon came from his lineage, right? It's such a great thing. But the whole thing is that they messed up, right? These brothers messed up at some point. King David, sadly, he committed adultery. Adultery for a man, for those of y'all who don't know, according to the Bible, is when a man sleeps with another man's wife, not sleeping with another woman. He can have multiple wives. King David had like 8 wives, but he slept with another man's wife. And because of that, that man died. And the Lord punished King David for that, right? Now, despite all that, though, most of the time, I'll say like 99.9% of the time, King David was after the Most High's heart. And the Lord gave great praise to King David for all the great things that he's done, right? So that's why the Most High is so disappointed right now with Solomon because he's not following in his father's footsteps as he should. Now, let's go to verse 7. "Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, the Chinese, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon, Japanese. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods." Now, Solomon is going so far that he's building altars for fake gods, all because of what? sleeping with strange women, because he wanted to please them. That's the whole point. When you deal with another nation, you end up wanting to please them. You want to be accepted by them. That's what it was. He wanted to please his strange wives who he should have never slept with in the first place. So let's keep reading though. Verse 9. And the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned away from the Lord God of Israel. Again, we have a real God, the only God. You understand? Which had appeared unto him twice. And he commanded him concerning this thing that he should not go after other gods. So the Most High is warning him. That just shows right there, look, the Most High can be terrible, but the Most High is also very, very merciful unto us. Think of it like this, right? If it wasn't for the Most High, we would all be dead right now. There would be no Israel. Like, really, really take a second, right? And realize all the things that happens to our people. Just think about it. The Puerto Ricans, so-called blacks today, our Issacharite brothers and sisters, the Mexicans, right? Jamaica, Trinidad, good night. We all saw what was going on with Haiti, right? Well, what else? Cuba, they were having the riots and the food shortages over there. I haven't heard too much about it since, but it was going crazy over there, all in the midst of COVID, right? If it wasn't for the Most High having mercy upon us, we would be dead. The oppressor would have killed us off a long time ago. There would be no, like, imagine a world without Israel. Like, just imagine America without Mexicans. Like imagine the music industry without so-called blacks today. You understand? Imagine that. There would be no us. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now if it wasn't for the Most High. You wouldn't even have the knowledge to come into the UPK if you haven't already. If I can, real quick, I know there's a lot of people that watch our channel and you're not subscribed. Please subscribe. Salagi, I'm asking as nicely as I can. You watch us every single day. You might as well. It's just one button. Just go ahead and hit the subscribe button, right? So you can get notifications, so you can get more knowledge, right? We're doing this for you, right? I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for my nation. You understand? Now, getting back on topic though, the Most High is warning Solomon, like, stop. You understand? Stop. Like, I see what you're doing and you're falling off. You're falling off the rails. Stop before you go too far. Let's read what Solomon does. At verse 10, and he commanded him concerning this thing that he should not go after after other gods, but he kept not that which the Lord commanded. Wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, forasmuch as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant. So because King Solomon wanted heathen women so much, so much, the Most High himself warned him, like, stop. You going off the rails, man. Just stop it. What happened? Solomon said, F that. I love me some white women. That's what he said. Salakia. You know, not to speak badly of Solomon, because he was a great brother too, but look, you got to give credit where credit is due. And Solomon messed up right here. This led to the demise of Solomon, right? So much that he forked over the kingdom for it. He forked over the kingdom for strange tale. You understand? Now, who that sound like? Who that sound like? I'll give y'all a hint. It's what is it? Is it Black History Month yet? I don't even know. But we just had, not we, but America just had a pagan holiday of him not that long ago. Let's see if anybody can guess. It should be pretty easy, right? I don't want to give it away. This should be pretty easy right here. Who does this sound like? Somebody who is giving up their nation to sleep with strange women. Who does that sound like? Ain't nobody got it? Okay, well, I'll give it to you just for time's sake. Okay, sis got it. Yep, MLK, Most High in Christ. Martin Luther King Jr. That's what he did. Y'all all seen the photo, right? It's that photo. He got like the little, I don't know, little Honolulu, whatever the hell it is. Uh, I don't know what it's called. It's like little flowers or whatever. He got a white woman on this arm, and then he got a Chinese woman on this arm. And MLK is smiling ear to ear. Now, remember, take this into context. At this time, remember, we're getting bombed, we're getting raided. Black Wall Street was getting burnt to the ground. You understand? Our communities were being destroyed. They were blowing up our schools, tear gassing us, lynching us, tying us. Like they used to. This is how you know the white man and devil that the Bible speaks as, man. They tied us, right, at the ends of our ankles and tied us to the end of a car and drove and dragged our bodies through the streets. They hosed us down. You don't know what tar and feathering is? Like, you ever got tar on you? I hope you don't, because your skin would melt away. We got tarred and feathered, man. Tarred and feathered, right? I got a little something else for y'all, if y'all didn't know this. Y'all know where the term picnic comes from? Picnic, how they like to go out there and, you're going out there with your rib and you're going outside. It's a nice little park. You made your lunch. Y'all just having a good old time. Do you know where the term picnic actually comes from? Picnic is short for pick a nigga. You understand? Where white people used to have these picnics as our bodies were lynched in trees. You understand? That's now the reason why I'm bringing all this up, right? The reason why I'm bringing all this up is because Most High in Christ, Kram Shak said Christian. Those are Christians too. Christians do that. You understand? Christians, Salakia, fork over their own nation to sleep with strange women. Because your Christian pastor, he got a white woman around somewhere. He got an Asian woman around somewhere. If not, he got a little boy around somewhere. You understand? Pedophilia, yeah. You want to know why there's so many memes about the Pope? About him touching little boys? Because it's true. The whole world knows that the Pope touches little boys. You understand? Now, getting back on topic though, MLK, right? MLK forked over his own nation for integration, to sleep with white women, to sleep with Asian women, to befriend the white man for all the atrocities that he's done to us, right? And the reason why I'm talking about, oh man, heavy, they drag Issachar by horses as well. You damn right, Ak. They dragged, look, it wasn't just black people. It was Issachar, our so-called Hispanic brothers and sisters, so-called Mexicans. And, do I even need to go over what happened to Native Indians? Like, you could brainstorm on that. For time's sake, I'm not even going to go over all that. We all know what happened to our Gadite and Reubenite brothers and sisters, man. It's just crazy. Now, keep all that in mind. And Martin Luther King wanted to conjoin onto the oppressor. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up Solomon specifically is because, remember, Solomon, when he was praying to the Most High, this is before he fell off, right? And the Lord was going to give him whatever he wanted. And Solomon wanted one thing. He only wanted one thing. He could have had riches. He could have had a prolonged life. He could have had all the women he ever wanted. I mean, he kind of did, and it led to his demise. But there was one thing that he wanted more than anything else. If anybody knows, feel free to put it in the chat. I'm going to give y'all a quick moment. There was one thing that he wanted. There was one thing that King Solomon wanted more than anything else. He prayed unto the Most High. Let's see. Okay, Natazak said knowledge to run his kingdom. You're absolutely right. There's a key word I'm looking for, though. You're right there. It is knowledge. It's another word for it, though. I'll give y'all a hint. There's a book called The Something of Solomon. Nobody got it? Okay. So we're going to read it. We're going to read it. Sister said, wisdom. There we go. Yes, wisdom. That's what I was looking for. Most High in Christ. Now we're going to read it real quick. So we're going to go to 1 Kings, right? 1 Kings, chapter 4. We're going to go to let's go to verse 29. So 1 Kings, chapter 4, verse 29. Matter of fact, let's see. Yeah, verse 29. That's fine. So the book of 1 Kings, chapter 4, verse 29. And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding, exceeding much, and largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore. Verse 30. And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the children of the east country and all the wisdom of Egypt. So Solomon was blessed with wisdom. Most High in Christ. Yeah, everybody, wisdom. Yep. He was blessed with wisdom. Now, why am I talking about wisdom during a class about integration and interracial marriages? Right? Here's the thing. You can't outsmart the Most High. Solomon, right? One of, if not the wisest brother in the Bible, right? He was blessed with wisdom that exceeded anybody else. And even he fell to strange women when he chose to deal with them. He turned away from God when he chose to deal with them, when he chose to have sex with them and marry onto them. What did he start doing? He started building Salakia. He started building altars for false gods. Why? Because he wanted to please strange women. It's the whole point. Now, let me tell you something right now. I'm not better than Solomon. I'm just telling you that right now. Ain't nobody, look, I mean, ain't really too many people out here who, as far as wisdom-wise, on the same quota as Solomon. You understand? This was a king also. So if the king of Israel at the time, right, the son of King David, if he himself fell to strange women when he chose to sleep with them and break the law, what makes you think you any better? You understand? Like, you're not better. That's the whole thing. Like, we could read about many brothers in the Bible who have broken the law, and I'll be honest with you, they were all better than me. Tell you that right now. Remember, Moses didn't make it into the kingdom because of one mistake. One mistake. That's all it took. He had his shot, and he didn't make it into the kingdom. He didn't make it into the kingdom because he had one simple instruction. He followed everything up to that one point. For those of y'all who don't, just a quick recap. He was told to speak to the rock, right, by the Most High, so that the Most High can make water flow up out of it, right? So that Israel could give praise to the Most High. What did he do? You gotta remember, this is us we're talking about, right? Like, we were complaining all the way there. We tired, we're hungry, our feet hurt. Remember, at one point, we even said, man, I'd rather be back in Egypt. That's how ungrateful we were. We would rather we would rather go back to captivity than to deal with this little bit of hardship that we had to go through, just going through the wilderness, right? And you gotta think, Moses is guiding all of us, right? You gotta think how frustrated that brother actually was. I'm thinking about it right now, like, man, like, if these niggas don't shut up, like, you gotta think, this is us. This is Israel we talking about. We just, so much that even Aaron, he got frustrated too. And what did he do? He made a golden calf. So we would shut up. They were tired of hearing us. So instead of speaking to the rock, what did Moses do? He struck the rock out of frustration. and he wasn't supposed to do that. You understand? Aaron wasn't supposed to make a golden calf. You understand? That's not what was supposed to happen. But because they erred, exactly, struck the rock. Because they erred and they disobeyed the Most High, they were suffered with consequences. And these were great, mighty men. King David, when he committed adultery, he was a mighty man, a mighty warrior who was after the Lord's own heart. But because he disobeyed and he did something unlawful, there were consequences. There's consequences for everything. So even though, yes, Solomon was blessed with all this knowledge, all this wisdom, he was ruling during a time of peace. He was such an amazing brother, and he gave all that up to chase some white tail. Straight up. Straight like that. He wanted some African tail. He wanted some Chinese, some Asian tail. That's what he wanted. And because of that, he lost everything. And the Lord had mercy on him too, because the Lord, remember, he warned him. He warned him, hey, don't do this. You're falling off the deep end. Solomon was like, nah, I love white women. That's what I love. I love Chinese women. I love Japanese women. I love African women. Good night. I don't know why, but Solomon had a problem, right? When you choose to sit here and deal with these other nations, you're going to fall off. And it's so important that we know this today, right? Don't try to conjoin onto the oppressor. Leave them alone. Now, Slaggy, let's continue real quick, right? We're gonna switch gears a little bit. So we're gonna go all the way back to Exodus. Right? We're gonna go to Exodus. We're gonna go chapter 20. We're gonna start at verse 3. Let's see. Actually, you know what? No, Salakia. Before we get there, Salakia, I got too many notes. We're going to go back even further. We're going to go all the way back to the beginning. We're going to go to Genesis. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 6, verse 2. Now, this is the book of Genesis chapter 6, verse 2. Actually, let's start at verse 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw that the daughters of men, that they were very fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Now, let's stop right there. Let's take a second to dissect this real quick. It says, the sons of God saw the daughters of men. What does that mean? There's a difference here, right? The sons of God and the daughters of man. The sons of God are who? It's us. It's Israel, right? The sons of God. This is why the Most High refers to us as his children. We're God's chosen people. We are his children. You understand? Now, it also says they saw the daughters of men. Now, when it says they saw the daughters of men, the men that the Most High is referring to, these are strange nations. These are not men of the Lord, meaning they weren't Hebrews. They weren't Mexican. They weren't Puerto Rican. They weren't Brazilian. They weren't Dominican. They wasn't black. They weren't native, right? They weren't us. These were strange nations. Now, these strange nations, they had daughters, of course, right? And it says that the sons of God, meaning the men of the Lord, Hebrews, right, saw the daughters of men, strange women. And what does it say? And they took them wives of all which they chose. So, again, they conjoined onto them. They wifed up these women. They had sex with these women, right? Took them as wives. Now, let's keep reading. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh. Yet his days... Oh, Slakia, hold up. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. Now, let's skip down. Let's skip down to verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. So, this is during the time of Noah. This is talking about when the Most High flooded the earth, right? Now, the reason why the Most High flooded the earth, he didn't just do it just because. It wasn't just like I'm bored. No, there was a reason, right? Because it says right here in verse 5, and God saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth. God did not want us dealing with strange nations, right? And the Lord was so angry because of all the disgusting things. Like, if I can, just one moment, right? And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. If I could take a second just to dissect that right there. This is why the Lord says, don't listen to your flesh. Of your flesh there is no good thing. That's in the Bible, right? So the thing is, let's talk about just heathens in general, right? Let's talk about the white man, right? Y'all ever just watch a movie and y'all just wonder, like, why was that scene in there? Like, there are just certain things in a movie that just really don't need to be shown. Like, Esau sexualizes literally everything. Like, you could be watching a movie about, I don't know, it could be like Transformers or something. I don't know. Like, it could be like one of them Taken movies or something, right? And it could be like a scene where you see a woman go into the bathroom and, they showing her legs, they showing her in her bra and all. Like, they sexualize the woman, right? Because they listen to their flesh. Like, Esau needs to, like, see, you got to sexualize something. They're just horny. They got to see something, right? If I could real quick, I got to get on the Ammonites. The Japanese are perverted as hell. They are extremely perverted. You take anything over there, they are going to sexualize anything. Anything. Right? I watch anime, right? I know a lot of brothers that watch anime and stuff like that. And sometimes, like, you got to be careful about what you watching sometimes, because sometimes they call it they call it fan service. That's what it's called. And fan service, for those of y'all who don't know, it's when they put women, like cartoon women, and they draw them just like over the top, like unnecessarily voluptuous for no reason, in skimpy little dresses. The anime is about war and fighting and stuff, and then you got some 15-year-old girl in a bikini fighting people. That's what Ammonites be like. That's what they put out. You understand? That's just an example of what the Lord means by that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually, meaning, like, they gotta pervert everything. They gotta pervert everything. It's in their nature, right? And this angered the Lord. Most High Christ, it's disgusting, right? Like, just some advice for everybody out there: just be careful what you're showing your kids out there, man, because the internet. I mean, everything's on the internet. Salakia, like, it's so hard to get away from it all. It's just everywhere. But the point being is, the Lord was so disgusted with man, like heathen, like these heathens, right? He never wanted us to partake in their customs, because when we do that, we turn away from him, just like Solomon did, right? And we want to be like them. Why do you think I say this, like, probably like every other class? The reason why there's so many whores in the world is because man loves them. The reason why there's OnlyFans accounts, the reason why there's strippers and prostitutes, is because, like, there's a whole bunch of reasons why. Obviously, we can get into the child molestation, the rape, the not having a father figure around, just the overall destruction of our people, right? Now, but the thing is, it continues because of the income, perverted minds. The imagination of the flesh, it knows no bounds. You understand? That's what happens when you want to follow these other nations. The reason why so many women have OnlyFans accounts is because they're making thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars off of putting nude videos, sex videos, whatever, and men are paying for that. I'm pretty sure there's some women that are paying for that too, which is disgusting. I mean, it's disgusting regardless, but men are paying for that, right? There's women who, I kid you not, like even at my slave, I've overheard sisters say, oh, I thought about going to school to be a nurse, but it don't pay enough. I should just become a stripper. And they kind of say it like in a joking way, but like low key, they're serious. Like if they really had the opportunity to sell their body and to get all this money, they would do it. But that's because man is perverted. These heathen men are extremely perverted. It doesn't know no bounds, which is why you should never want to be like them. You should never want to be friends with the so-called white man. You shouldn't want that, because the more and more you hang out with them, I don't know why you would want to hang out with them anyway, but the more you hang out with them, you're going to start to want to be like him because it's tempting. Because I'll tell you right now, heathens can't sin. Why? Because they were never given the law. Because a sin is a transgression of the law. The law was given to us according to the Bible. So heathens can't sin. White man, he can go out there and do whatever the hell he want. That's like he can do whatever the hell he's in his heaven right now. Moabites can do whatever the hell they want. Shalom, Lauren Christ, what's going on? Moabites can do whatever they want. Ammonites can do whatever they want. Everybody else can do whatever the hell they want. And the repercussions aren't as severe as it is for us because we actually have a law that we follow. We have a culture and a custom that the Most High put on for us to follow. So when you want to hang out with them, you're going to start to want to be like them, right? I'm going to go to, let's see. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, right? We're going to go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 2. And then we're going to go to Proverbs. But we'll go to Jeremiah 10 and 2 first. Right? The Lord does not want us to partake into the customs of heathens, man. He never wanted that. MLK, that whole I have a dream. I'm tired of hearing that. I'm so tired of hearing that I have a dream BS. Because that's exactly what it is, BS. Realize America, they love MLK. They love MLK because he opened the door for integration to so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Because he convinced an entire generation of, I'll just talk about just Judites specifically real quick, but Israel as a whole, right? He convinced an entire generation of Judites that, you know what? I know they're killing us. I know they're lynching us. I know they're hosing us down. I know they're leaving our bodies dead in the street. But you know what? We should just ask for we should just show them that we're not bad people. That was Martin Luther King's philosophy. Let's just show that we are completely harmless and show that we mean no harm. And maybe, just maybe, they'll stop killing us. That's like a lamb going out for slaughter. Like, there's a wolf right there ready to eat the damn sheep. And the sheep's like, you know what? Maybe if I just sit here and just be completely vulnerable, maybe the wolf won't kill me. No, your ass should have ran. Get away from him. He's a predator, right? So let's read the book of Jeremiah. Let's start 10 and 1. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1, right? For those who have been in the ISUPK long enough, I'm pretty sure you've heard this scripture many, many times before. But sadly, we need to keep going over these because there's still too many brothers and sisters out in the world who want to be integrated with these other nations, right? So it's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord spake unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Don't follow them, man. Just don't do it. Leave them alone. Let heathens do what heathens do. They want to celebrate Christmas, fine. Let them go do that. You don't celebrate Christmas. It ain't going to, Salakia, it's not going to kill you. If anything, it's going to kill you celebrating Christmas. You know what's funny? It's not funny, but just to show an example, right? I got off the phone with some of my family last week, just catching up with them because they live on the East Coast, right? And they're telling me, oh, we such and such has had their birthday, and we was doing this during New Year's, and we was doing this during Christmas, and throughout all that, I think I was talking to my mother at the time. She tells me that everybody caught COVID. Everybody got COVID. My mother, my grandmother, my grandfather was at risk. My aunts, my little sister was sick. She had to get taken out of school. Everybody got COVID. You want to know why? Because the Lord never wanted y'all to be celebrating pagan holidays in the first place. So because of that, they were punished for it. Thankfully, my family's all right, but I try to tell my family, but I know we all go through that. Some people just don't listen. I get it. But the whole point is there were repercussions for their actions, right? And I mean, think about it. Every single year, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all these holidays, it's the same thing, right? You hear about more death than anything else, literally. It's like the spirit of depression, really, because what happens during Christmas? During Christmas, a matter of fact, I'm not even going to talk about Christmas. We're past Christmas. Let's go to Valentine's Day, right? Because I know it's going to be a lot of mad women out there during Valentine's Day. It's the spirit of depression, right? Because here it is, America's telling you, like, for brothers, right? If you love your woman, get her a Valentine's Day gift. Get her a card, get her the candy, take her out to eat, treat her so great, right? Now, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with treating your woman right. Treat your woman right, right? Christ said, love your wife as he loved the church. That's in the Bible. That's in the book of Matthew, right? Love your woman. But don't celebrate a pagan holiday because of it. Now you're serving the white man, really, because first and foremost, Valentine's Day is about homosexuality. I already talked about it a couple times already. It's just nasty, okay? Right? So the whole point is the spirit of depression. They're telling you that you have to do this if you love your woman. So now all the women, all the sisters, they're getting it in their head like, if my man loves me, he's gonna do this for me on Valentine's Day. February 14th is coming up. I wonder what my man's gonna do for me. And then half the time, brothers don't even want to do nothing on Valentine's Day. Like, you could take your woman out every other week, man. Like, you can do that at any time. Okay, let's see. Got it with the shots. Accept me, not just me. Okay, so you never get it. Okay, most high in Christ. But my whole point being is sisters get so hyped up, right? Because the oppressor tells that man that in order to show that he loves you, that he has to celebrate this pagan holiday. Now, what happens if he doesn't celebrate this pagan holiday? What happens, Lord forbid, your man does not buy you something on Valentine's Day? Uh-oh. He doesn't love me? But my friends, her husband, he bought her something, and now sisters start getting frantic. They start getting insecure. Oh, he don't really love me. Then it turns out, oh, he probably talking to another woman, blah, 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 all that stuff. The insecurity comes up. And then good night. I'm talking about the sisters that have a man. If I could share something with y'all real quick. This was so sad. Man, so I can't make this up. There was a time at my slave, right? This was like years ago. At my slave, there was a sister there. I didn't even know, right? Sisters gossip. You hear it at work. And here comes Valentine's Day. Now, of course, this is like way before I came into the truth. I already didn't give a damn about Valentine's Day as it was anyway. But the sister came in with a bunch of cupcakes, right? And like some card or something. And she was bragging about how her man did all these things for her, blah, 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 blah. Whatever, right? I'm not paying no mind to it. It's just another day. Later on, we end up finding out that sister never had a man. She lied. She wanted to portray as if she had a man to everybody else to make herself feel good. And I just thought to myself, at the time, I didn't even have the heart to say nothing to the sister. I was just like, you that depressed? And the thing is, there's plenty of other sisters out there that do this. I'm just using this as an example. You were so depressed because on Valentine's Day, you were reminded that you don't have a man to buy you things, to treat you well, this, that, and third. So it hurt you so much that you needed to fake it. You needed to lie to other people. Realistically, you were lying to yourself. That's really what it was. That's why I say it's the spirit of depression, right? You know, some people commit suicide over stuff like that. That's not a joke. I'm serious. Some people really commit suicide for things like that because they weren't able to get gifts, because they weren't able to give their children gifts or their wife or whatever, right? That's what happens with our people, man, right? Don't do that, right? Integration, interracial marriages, according to God, is a sin. It's a sin according to God. Don't believe your Christian pastor. Don't believe in your Roman Catholic Church. Good night. Please don't believe the Pope. Like, we already just kind of covered that. The Pope molests children. You understand? There's memes all over the internet about the Pope molesting children. What is it? It's always an old white man with a little kid. Half the time, the kid be looking traumatized, and then they parents just be, oh my gosh. It's weird, man. It's weird. Stop it, right? But to shift gears a little bit, right, let's get back specifically onto the interracial marriage, right? So let's go. We're going to go to the book of Proverbs. We're going to go to chapter 5, verse 3. So that's the book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 3. Okay, slide just one moment. Okay, so this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 3. It says, for the lips of a strange woman drops as an honeycomb, meaning it's sweet, right? That lust that you get that I was talking about earlier, like brothers are hard pressed, like you need to get you a foreign woman, things like that, right? It's like what they call it, exotic women, right? It seems so tantalizing because it's so new. Like, oh, what is that? Like, I don't know nothing about it. This is so different than what I'm used to. It's very appealing, right? And her mouth is smoother than oil, meaning she'll sweet talk you. She'll tell you what you want to hear and stuff. Like, I know a lot of brothers out there, Salaki, I got to talk about this. There's so many brothers out there, you know, came from broken households and, you know, dealing with just wicked women. When I say wicked women, I'm talking about our nation, right? They grow up in the hood, stuff like that. You don't want to be around the ratchet, loud, obnoxious. Not all sisters are like that. No, there's some very nice, virtuous women out there. And I'm telling you right now, majority of them are already in the UPK. You understand? So my point being is, brothers get tired of that, right? And what do? They go find themselves a white woman or an Asian woman, right? Just a heathen woman in general. And they do that because, I'll speak about Asian women specifically. The stereotype is that they come off extremely submissive. Brothers want a submissive woman. It's just in us, right? Masculinity, put it like this. You can't have two bulls in a pen. One has to be the dominant one. One has to be the submissive one. Men were designed to be dominant. We're masculine. That's just how we are by nature. That's how the Lord designed it. Masculinity does not want masculinity. Y'all heard the term, opposites attract, right? Well, if I'm a masculine brother, I want me a feminine sister. That's what I want, right? It's like it. So because of that, right, the wants or the need for a submissive woman, they date outside of their race. And just so I'm clear real quick, a black man getting with a Mexican woman is not interracial. A Puerto Rican man getting with a Dominican woman is not interracial. A Native Indian man getting with a Honduran woman is not interracial because we are of the same nation, right? Get that out of your mind as far as so-called blacks and Hispanics. I know there's a lot of people out there that still love to come up with this speculation of, well, you know, Hispanics, you know, they're Spaniard. No, they're not. No, they're not. Hispanics are our brothers, right? They are our brothers. Black folk, they're your brothers. Native Indians, they're your brothers. Okay? There's nothing interracial about that. So, going back to the topic of the strange woman, brothers want to go with a strange woman because she comes off as submissive. That's why it says right here that her mouth is smoother than oil. She knows what to talk to you about. You know, she'll cook you things, unlawful things at that, right? She'll be all up underneath you. It seems so great, right? And then you have sex with her. You see it all the time, right? There was a brother I knew, he was Jamaican. He got himself a Japanese woman because in their culture, at least from what I know, a lot of them are submissive. No, don't be with a heathen woman, man. Now, let's keep reading. Verse 4. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell. Jeez. Good night. That's heavy. I'm going to read that one more time real quick. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. And her end is, but her end is as bitter as Slakia. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell. Let's just talk about Kanye West. Shoot, since we're on the topic, Kanye, or who was it? Young Jeezy. Young Jeezy. He got himself a Chinese woman, and Kanye, good night. Kanye, man. I don't keep up too much on that stuff, but like you can't help but not see it. Everybody knows that he was with Kim Kardashian. Everybody knows that, right? The whole world. We all know that Kim Kardashian ain't Israel. Like, if anything, the Kardashians have a reputation for ruining black men. In case y'all haven't noticed, like they had a whole show. Like that's all they do, right? I'm waiting. I mean, I don't know if he fell off the rails already, but I'm waiting for Travis Scott to fall off the rails because he would. Was it Kylie Jenner? So my whole point being is they're dealing with strange women, and Kim Kardashian, she was known as a whore. That's the whole reason why she was famous, because of a sex tape. Right? And at one point, Kanye made songs bragging about that. Like, why would you want to brag about your woman like Slakia? I'm not even going to dive too much into that. You get the point. The point is, he was dealing with strange women, right? And everybody, you know, in the world, because, you know, they're ignorant. Oh, Kim and Kanye. Oh, such a beautiful marriage. You don't even know what the hell is going on in that marriage. And half the time, Kanye don't even look happy. Even when he was married. What was that? It was that interview, and then it was talking about the pool. I forgot how exactly it went. This is like, I'm not a big fan of Kanye or nothing like that, but it was something that he said. I just started dying laughing. And then it was about the pool, and Kim's like, oh yeah, I've never been in the pool. And Kanye looked at her like in disbelief, like, you ain't never been in the pool? And she's like, yeah, but I love our pool. And then she complains about, oh, did you know that we don't have a jacuzzi? And then Kanye looks at the interview like, did you know that we didn't have a jacuzzi? He says it sarcastically, right? Like, the hell, like, what do you care? The brother didn't even look happy with Kim K as it was anyway, right? And now, he's like the butt of everybody's joke now. Because I forgot the Edomite's name. Somebody probably knows. If you remember his name, just put it in the chat for me. I can't remember what it is. Oh, no, Slack it. Pete Davidson, that's his name. So Pete Davidson, now he with Kim K. And everybody's clowning Kanye because of it, right? That's why the Lord said, like, her end is bitter, right? Sharp as a two-edged sword. It's all fun and games at the moment, but it never ends well. It never ends well. And then immediately after, Kanye came out with a new song talking about Kim K. And not just talking about her. Now you're finding out all the reality. Now you're finding out that he was never really happy. Now he's talking about how his kids are spoiled and they don't listen to him. And you know, when you listen to the words, you can hear that brother's pain. He's talking about it because he was dealing with a strange woman. And then to make it even worse, in the song, he brags about getting a new woman, right? So this is before I know. I'm like praying, like, man, I hope he at least got him a sister. I know he ain't in the truth, but I hope he got him a sister. No, he got himself another white woman, Julia Fox. So you went from one Edomite to another, thinking that things are going to be better. It's not going to get better. It's not going to get better. I don't know if Kanye's ever going to watch this video. I pray that he does, but this has to stop, man. Dealing with strange women is unlawful according to the Most High, man. It's going to meet your end. Let's talk about Young Jeezy. Young Jeezy, they about to have a child, and now this is Young Jeezy, right? Now, okay, gang banging, being a gangster, being a thug, that's not really cool. I want y'all to understand that. That's not cool in the eyes of the Lord. Killing your brother, selling drugs, that's not cool, right? But Young Jeezy, at least through the songs anyway, once upon a time ago, he was a brother who indulged in these kind of things, right? Now you got a Chinese woman and you're coming out with your child as being gender fluid. He won't give his child a gender. His child is genderless. Sounds like another Dwayne Wade's son in the making. It's just like, come on, man. And these are brothers that we talking about, right? These are brothers that we talking about. You see the destruction that goes on about it, and I know I've been talking a lot about brothers, sisters. Y'all ain't safe neither. This goes for you too. Stop dealing with strange men. You getting with a white boy is not going to save you. If anything, you are going into the devil's mouth. You understand? It wasn't too long ago. I forgot the name of the football player. It was some big Edomite. I think he was like 6'7", 300 something pounds football player, right? And he was with a sister. And it was known that he had a mental disorder. And that sister damn near died. She damn near died. She went to the interview about the whole incident in a neck brace, in a black eye, and a busted lip. Like, this is a big Edomite. What do you think the average 5 foot to 5'4" woman is gonna do to that? If he wanted to kill her, he would have, and he damn near did, right? And then I just seen on the news not that long ago, it was another sister who was with a white man, and she died at the hands of a white man. Sis, stop. Get you a brother, get you a priest. Slakia. Like, look, you're in danger. You're in danger when you do that, right? Because a man is supposed to protect you, but that man is supposed to be a man of your nation. When you date a Chinese man, a white man, an African man, like any other nation of men, sis, you think, look, everything that shine ain't gold, sis. You think you go into something better and you're not. Your end is just going to be just as bitter, and it will lead to possible death. And before I close the class, I'm gonna go over one more precept, just for everybody out there, because I know it's a lot of talk about, interracial marriages. Oh, biracial, right? There's no such thing as being biracial, right? But we're gonna go over that in the Bible, right? So we're gonna go to Numbers, the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18. Because I know there's a lot of confusion with that, a lot of confusion. Because I know some people will have the question of, well, okay, I hear what you're saying, but what about me? What if my dad is Mexican, but my mom's white? Or my dad's black and my mom's Chinese, right? Who am I? Because according to America, they'll tell you that you're biracial. Look, the Lord called this the land of confusion for a reason, because that's all that Esau does. He lies to you and it causes confusion. That's why we have a lot of brothers and sisters out there who have a heathen mother, but their father is of Israel, and they don't know who to identify as, right? So let's break it down real quick. So we're going to go to Numbers 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. So the key one I want to focus on right here, right? It says that they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their families, by the house of their fathers. Meaning what? You are the house of your father. You understand? You are the seed of your father. Best way I could break it down for you, man. I don't have a piece of fruit here or nothing, but okay, let's say right? Just imagine, right? Let's just say I got an apple, right? Now, apples have seeds. Now, let's say I take that seed, right? And I put this seed in the ground somewhere, right? Let's say in America. I put that seed in America. What is that seed going to grow into? It's going to grow into an apple tree. It's going to turn to another apple, right? Now, let's say I take that same seed. Let's say I travel out to Japan and I put that seed in Japan. Is that seed going to turn into, well, I don't know, a lemon tree? Is it going to turn to an orange? Is it going to turn to a banana? Is it going to turn to a grapefruit? No, it's still going to be an apple, right? Wherever you plant the seed, it's still going to be whatever it was. You understand? Your lineage, right? The seed comes from the man. I know there's a lot of people out there that like to say, oh, well, it's the woman, she gives the birth. And yes, the mother is the one that obviously carries the child or children and gives birth to the child. However, who put the seed in you, though? It was a man. That's why even with, you can go to Matthew's when the Lord is talking about Yahushua Mashiach, or as you would know him, Jesus Christ. He is the lineage of who? Of David, right? He's going to the fathers. It doesn't say the lineage of Bathsheba. You understand? It didn't say the lineage of Pharaoh's daughter, who Solomon was married onto. It didn't say that. No, he came from the seed of his father. So, just so everybody's clear, if you have a black father and a white mother, yes, that's still your mother. However, you are the seed of your father. That man put his seed inside of her, and out came you. Yeah, you're going to be a little light-skinned. That's cool. Whatever. You are still a Hebrew. If you are Mexican, and let's say you get with a Chinese woman, that baby is not Chinese. He might have little chinks or whatever. He might have some features of his mother. However, his spirit is of the house of his father. That child is Mexican. All right? And hold on now. This is the key thing. Vice versa. Let's say you a sister. Let's say you a Puerto Rican sister, right? And you get yourself a white man. I don't know why you would do that, but let's just say you get yourself a white man. If he puts his seed in you, that child, that's your child, but that child is not a Hebrew. That child's an Edomite. You understand? And it's going to just cause, if anything, I feel like it's even more painful for sisters because now you're raising a child that's not even yeah, you are who your father is. Yeah, Most High in Christ. When sisters do that, now you're raising a child that, yeah, it's your kid. Put it like this: that's your baby, but that's not your nation. That's your baby, but it's not your nation. All right, you can't bring him to the Passover. You understand? They're not going to partake in the customs that we have because it's not meant for them. They have the spirit of their father, who is an Edomite or a Moabite or Ammonite or whatever, Hittite, whatever, right? That's who they are. So sisters, it's even more prevalent for y'all because it's still a sin if a man sleeps with a strange woman. Yes, it's still wrong, right? We just read that in 1 Kings, right? Chapter 11, verses 1 through 9, I believe. We talked about Solomon. However, he can still pass on his lineage. Hopefully that child won't adhere to his mother's ways and sticks to the Hebrew way. You understand? But it's gonna be more difficult for him because now he has a heathen mother. But the thing is, he can still pass on his lineage. For a woman, you get with a white man or a man who's not of your nation, sis, your nation's cut off. You just cut your lineage off. That's it. Like, you might be a Judite, you might be an Ephraimite, you might be an Issacharite, right? You might be a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, but your child not. And I know this. Look, I know it's going to be hard for some sisters to accept that, but I'm telling you this for a reason, because it's your baby. I get it. You're gonna raise your child. You're gonna love them. I get it. but that child is not of your nation. And trust me when I tell you this, when they get older, they're going to show it. I promise you. I promise you. I've seen it my damn self. Just, to share something with the class real quick. I remember, back in high school? I remember back in high school, look, I almost messed up. I almost called her a sister. She wasn't a sister. There was a girl, right, that was on the track team with us at the time. And, she was tall, light skinned. She had big afro, right? She looked like a sister, but her spirit was kind of off. She only liked to dwell with Edomites. She listened to Edomite music. She partook in their customs. She liked white boys. That's it. And even when you would talk to her, talk like, okay, whenever you talk to somebody in the world, bring up, this is just some quick advice for the class, right? If you're not sure who their nation is, talk about black people problems. Talk about Mexican people problems, right? See where their spirit's at, right? Because some of them lie. Some of them lie. They'll say that they're black and they're really not. They'll say that they're Mexican when they're really not, right? You got to find out who their father is. Sometimes you got to find out who their father's father is. I know there was I almost messed up again. I almost called him a brother. There was somebody who I used to be friends with once upon a time ago, years ago. I thought he was an Issacharite. And then I found out that his grandfather on his father's side of the family was Spaniard. He's an Edomite. And then once I realized that and I started to see things, I realized, oh, he's definitely not Issachar. Like I know how Issachar get down. Issachar get down just like how we get down. Like you can't find one Issacharite by themselves. They always roll in a mob together. That's just how Hebrews get down, you understand? And this one, he just seemed off. That woman that I talked about earlier, she seemed off. Why? Because their fathers were Edomites. They were not of our nation, right? And it was hard to believe for some people, like, no, they're black. No, they're not. No, they're not. They might look it on the outside, but the Lord is not concerned about skin complexion. He doesn't care about that. There's brothers, look, there's Judites. Not all Judites look like me. There's some Judites out there that look like this. You understand? Like, for real. It's not a joke. Like, there's some brothers out there who damn near as white as that piece of paper. But they father Israel. Don't even get me started on our Hispanic and Native Indians brothers and sisters, our Northern tribe brothers and sisters. Most of the time, not all the time, at least in America anyway, it's been stereotyped that they're light-skinned, right? Not every Mexican is light-skinned. I've met some Mexicans who are as dark as me, darker than me. You understand? Forget about it when it comes to Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans, they every shade, right? Every shade. There be brothers I thought like, oh yeah, he's definitely a Judite. And he starts speaking Spanish. I'm like, wait, who? Oh yeah, my dad Puerto Rican. I'm like, oh, okay, Most High in Christ. You understand? It's important to know that the seed comes from the Father. Interracial marriage is a sin according to God, and integration is a sin according to God. Okay? Stop. Christianity, that was made by the white man. Okay? The white man didn't make this. You understand? Christians did not make this. This does not exist because of Christianity. Christianity is a false religion that our oppressors have made to better enslave us. But of course, what do I know? I'm just some 20-something-year-old young nigga. I don't know nothing, right? Okay, well, you ain't gotta listen to me. You know, there's books that literally state how to make a Negro a Christian, right? Look, the oppressor's showing his hand right in front of you. I don't know what to tell you. But point of this class, interracial marriage is a sin. Integration is a sin. Don't listen to heathens. Don't partake in their customs. Don't be like how Solomon was towards the end, right? He was a great brother from the beginning, but he didn't finish the race the way that the Lord wanted him to, okay? Don't be like MLK or Orgy Mike. Don't be like him, all right? That's not the way of our people, right? You got to learn to love your people and your customs and your traditions, okay? Blacks need to learn to love Hispanics. Hispanics need to learn to love Native Indians. Native Indians need to learn to love so-called black people, all right? Because we are of the same nation. We go through the same thing. Don't let a little Don't let a little skin complexion throw you off. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Okay? Slakia. Let's see. Oh yeah, excellent point. Excellent point. Not just I put out, yeah, fabulous. Yeah, fabulous. He's Simeon. He's Dominican. That's a Dominican brother, right? I thought he was Judah for the longest. And yup, perfect example. Tia and Tamara, or what's that show on Disney Channel that used to come out, Sister Sister? They're Edomites. I know that's gonna throw some people like, what? Like, no, they're Edomites. Most High in Christ out the water. They are Edomites. Their father is a white man, but their mother, you get the point? They're not us. Don't don't do that. All right. Or what's another one? Zazie Beats. Zazie Beats. She played on that movie. The Harder They Fall is on Netflix. Great movie, by the way. You should watch it. But the point is, she's not a sister. Her father is an Edomite, but she looked like a red bone, right? She's not one of our people. Y'all don't know who your people are, man. You gotta test the spirit. You understand? Most High in Christ. But with that, if nobody has any further questions, let's check real quick. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're one of them people that's watching and you haven't subscribed yet, hey, look, it's just one button. It ain't gonna hurt you. Okay? You might as well just go ahead and do it. You watch us every time anyway, so you might as well. And before we go, also check out our Twitter page. It's ISUPK West Coast, or at West Coast _UPK. Check us out on Twitter. And with that being said, there's no questions. Madium, which means to stand, just me up here. Yep, Bob Marley, another one too, the water. Yeah, don't follow Bob Marley. He Edomite too. His daddy was a white man. Also, dreads, if I could real quick, dreads are not a part of our custom. Don't be doing that. That's the East Indian way. Don't do that. I'm telling you, her father's Edomite. Slagia. But I'll give you a call after. La Yasharala, which means to Israel. Just one moment. Amadim Apon Yah Hakwadam, which means to stand and face the east. As usual, sisters, remember to have your heads covered. Brothers, remember to have your heads uncovered. We can start with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratzaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Latan Lanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawatinawa, Wala'ah, Tabayanawa, Banasaiwan, Abal, Habashainawa, Ma'ayun, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Wa'ala, Wa'ataparath, La'alumium, Amun. Now the Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Salakia. Just one moment. Salakia. I'll be going over Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Babakasha, Latan Lanawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Call, Makalah, Wakal, Matawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha, Matazarayim, Hakak, La Aquayim, Mathiam, Hakak, Al, Rakawath, Hatama Allah, Lagar Shun, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Throw Water, Amun. Now, Hakak, which is the power in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahushai, Wa Mayaka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Matazad Ya'ah, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapim, Ha Saronyim, Ha Kwatazayoyin, Hakayayoyin, Waha Agwathian, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, the water, Amun. Blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Yanya, Al, Haharyam, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'im, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Waratazah, Yathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, All, Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Yad, Yamyamka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarah, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Avmapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'afka, Wabawa'afka, Ma'ita, Wa'ai, Iwalam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, All, Damaya, Laka, All, Dakarash, Wa'al, Dashakwat, All, Kaya, Hana, Awayebika, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Al, Amaka, Ya'ayamor, Sawada, Waita, Yaitazawa, Al, Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidum, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shum, Yasharala, Awada, Kaya, Aitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Baryath, Yakarathwa, Ahaya, Adawam, Wa, Yashama'alyum, Mawa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Wayamawan, Wayamalak, Palashath, Am Yeshabya, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Nalawa, Aimum, Hayawa, Zarwai, Labunya, Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Lahum, Kamudium, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Karyubian, Banakal, Koyashwan, Ashab Mawah, Bayan, Dara, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kairab, Wakaza Abba, Wakaza Bak, Wakaza Zol, Manai, Kal, Nasayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarashah, Lanawa, Af, Naawaf, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapunya, Rakawa, Ka'ash, Daba'ira, Ya'ira, Wa, Kalahaba, Dalahat, Haryum, Kun, Daradama, Basa'iraka, Wabasa, Wapafka, Dabahalam, Mala'ah, Panyahum, Kuala1, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya, it's like Bahawa, Ad Yai, Waya, Kapawa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Daiwa, Kaya, Ada, Shabka, Yahawa, Labaka, Alwan, Alcohol, Ha'arataza. Now, Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace. And be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. The swords also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Ored, and like Zaid. Yea, all their princes, as Zabah, and as Almuna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. All right, men of Israel will give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amijam, Shabbat, Amijam, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatham, Yashmatah. Class dismissed. Shalom, Israel.